Former Chernobyl engineer reveals he witnessed a major nuclear leak at the plant 4 years before the 1986 disaster. An engineer who was previously employed at the Chernobyl Nuclear Power Plant has recently revealed that he bore witness to a major accident 4 years prior to the disaster that occurred in 1986. Nikolai Steinberg was one of the Ukrainian engineers who built the plant near the Soviet city of Pripyat, as well as served as the head of turbines in the summer of 1982, when, according to him, a serious incident took place. Nikolai appeared on the UK's Channel 5 documentary series called The Chernobyl Disaster, in which he said he witnessed steam coming out of a pipe outside of his office during what was meant to be a routine exercise that was a part of a major nuclear leak at Reactor 1 of the plants. However, he alleged that officials at Chernobyl never addressed the situation. In fact, Nikolai alleged officials tried to bury the incident. The former Chernobyl engineer further explained how he became a witness to this incident. He says he was in his office at the time of the routine exercise, but there was an announcement regarding an accident at the second unit, at which point he left his office, and that is when he saw steam coming out of the ventilation pipe just outside his office. The steam was actually a sign of a major nuclear leak. Reactor 1 was then shut down, and Nikolai told his team to wait, having thought the officials would brief the workers on the incident that had just taken place. He continued to explain that he told his team they were not going home but instead were having an emergency meeting. However, that meeting never occurred, and by 1 a.m. the employees went home. According to Nikolai, the KGB, the USSR's secret police, which was constantly present, quickly covered up the accident. He says that is how things worked, and even though he knew, there was no information about why it happened. The engineer divulges that the employees were never officially informed, and there were no reports made. Historian Dr. Natalia Chernyshova said the KGB would have had two priorities after the 1982 incident, which would have been to investigate whether that was an act of sabotage or whether somebody was being negligent, as well as contain any rumors that might have been going around in order to prevent possible panic. Natalia notes that when she looked into records on Chernobyl dating back to 1983, which were only declassified in 2017, she discovered the presence of distorted rumors spread by a resident of Pripyat. She adds that none of this information was made available to the press, as this was the kind of situation that the Soviet Union dreaded. The same report reveals that in the space of January 1978 to December 1982, the station experienced 27 accidents and 87 equipment failures. 5 of these accidents and 16 failures were in the 12 months of 1982. Following the reactor malfunction seen by Nikolai, radiation spread over a 9-mile radius around the station. Unfortunately, the residents of Pripyat were never notified. Ancient cursed tablet shows earliest name of God. While digging was happening at the West Bank, a small tablet containing a very strong message was uncovered. The original discovery took place in 2019, but deciphering the ancient Hebrew proved to be quite a challenge because it was written in a rare and early dialect. The tablet is made of folded lead, mined in Greece, and is compared to the size of a postage stamp or a piece of a jigsaw puzzle. It's estimated to be 3,200 years old, which makes it 100 years older than the most ancient Old Testament artifacts currently collected. It was found in a section that was previously excavated in the 1980s using a method called wet sifting. On the tablet is written, "Cursed, cursed, cursed, cursed by the God," with God spelt as YHW. Pretty hefty words for someone to be carrying around with them. YHW is the 3-letter abbreviation for the Hebrew word for God, Yahweh. Some believe that YHW is a vengeful God who was written about in the Old Testament, a lesser God than the compassionate and loving God of the New Testament. Archaeologists interpret the words to be addressing someone who did not honor an oath or a covenant, which is an agreement that is legally binding. The place the tablet was found has plenty of other historical significance. Mount Ebal is where Joshua, who succeeded Moses in the leadership of the Israelites, built an altar and offered animal sacrifices. Some believe that the stone altar found on the mountain ridge was constructed in the Iron Age, which was several hundred years after the Bronze Age, which is when the tablet is from. The findings will all be published in detail in an archaeological journal later this year. Study says trees have feelings. Trees have feelings, make friends, and look after each other like an old couple, according to a recent study. Science has proven that trees are far more intelligent than we ever anticipated. They are capable of feeling pain and experiencing emotions such as fear. Trees prefer to snuggle and stand close together. They enjoy having visitors and prefer to take things slowly. These are only a few of the discoveries made by tree whisperer Peter Wolleben. Peter is a German researcher who not only appreciates being in the presence of trees, but has dedicated his life to learning about them. Trees do indeed have friendship, he claims. They have the ability to create attachments similar to that of an elderly couple when one looks after the other. Trees have emotions. Furthermore, trees are thought to have a heartbeat in the same way that humans do. Dr. Andreas Linsky of Aarhus University in Denmark utilized a laser scanning technique to precisely quantify the position of branches and leaves on 22 different tree and shrub species. He published observations of significant unanticipated movement cycles last year. Some trees, with their own form of a heartbeat, elevate and lower their branches numerous times throughout the night, signaling a cycle of water and sugar transfer. In a statement, Zelinsky added, "We found a previously unknown periodic movement of up to 1 centimeter in cycles of 2 to 6 hours. The movement must be linked to changes in water pressure within the plants, implying that the tree is pumping. As previously assumed, water transport is not simply a steady state flow. Some trees lower their branches by up to 10 centimeters during the night before rising them with the sun. We assumed only select families engaged in the process since it is so slow and delicate, but we are now seeing that it is increasingly universal. During the course of a night, a magnolia tree goes through 3 full cycles of modifying its branches, indicating changing water pressure. Plants, like humans, have skin that reacts to their surroundings, and this is critical to their existence. Even while plants lack eyes, hearing, and a tongue, their skin may perform many of the same activities. Plants are not just aware of when it rains or when it is windy, they can also react to it. But what do you make of these recent discoveries? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.